I almost feel weird making a cocktail video on this because it's so easy. Every now and again, I get hired out by either brands or bars to do recipe ideation, recipe creation. I guess recipe ideation is just a fancy word of saying recipe creation. Or sometimes they want me to gussy up a menu. I got hired out pretty recently to do a couple of cocktails for a bar in Guadalajara that I'm really, really excited about, and I will fill you in on the details later. But I wanted to make a video on these cocktails because it illustrates a technique that I don't think a lot of you guys have been introduced to. Now, here's the thing. If you guys have been on Instagram, especially, but just on the internet or like cocktail internet by and large, you've probably seen a lot of clarified cocktails come your way. Clarified cocktails are awesome, but the thing about clarified cocktails, right, one of the major drawbacks to clarifying a cocktail is that it flattens flavor. What it does is it takes a lot of the nuanced flavors out of the cocktail and it renders it a little bit flat. And while clarifying a cocktail renders almost every single cocktail delicious, like it's really easy to hide mistakes in that clarification, it also makes a lot of cocktails read similar. Like they kind of read the same. I'm not gonna say every cocktail tastes exactly the same if you clarify it. That's not true. And it also depends on what you're using to clarify, whether you're using like whole milk or whether you're using coconut cream or something. Those are going to, impart major differences into the cocktail. So when you use flavorful spirits like gin or tequila, you lose a lot of the nuance of the spirit in that clarification process. But what I have not seen on the internet a lot. You don't have to just clarify an entire cocktail. You can clarify the syrup by itself. And when you do that, you actually add the spirit in second, and that gives you the opportunity to have the full flavored spirit along with the benefits of the clarification. Sometimes when you clarify, you get rid of some of the acidity of the lime, and so you need to up that acidity with a little, citric acid or malic acid. In the clarified syrup that I made today, which is a clarified spiced margarita, I actually didn't need to do that. The acidity is kind of right there. So today, I'm gonna be making 2 cocktails with this clarified syrup that I made. These are dead easy cocktails, and what I love about this technique is that you can still make these really vibrant cocktails, but they're like 2-step pours, especially during service at a bar. If you guys are utilizing this for service, all of the prep happens in your prep shift. And then once you are like bartending in the moment, you have everything in the fridge. It's literally a 2-step pour and some stirring, and you have these amazing cocktails that are magnifique and very easy to make. I gotta say, I think that this is my most proud moment. Like I actually finally have a copy of the book that I wrote. It took me a year and a half to write this book. I'm very proud of it. So I would just implore everyone to go buy a book. The more books you buy, the better it is for me. And then I can make another book for you guys. I'm already thinking about new books, but I'm just super proud of this. And I just hope that you guys really enjoy it. So go out. There is a Genius link below this video and buy this book. I think you guys will really like it. And I worked really hard on it. And I love you guys. And you love me. And I love you. And you love me. It's a love fest over here. So pick up my book. I almost feel weird making a cocktail video on this because it's so easy. It's so easy. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our clarified Margarita Cordial, which you have the recipe down below in the description. We're gonna do 2 ounces of our clarified Margarita Cordial, and then we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of our tequila. We're using Tequila Blanco. How easy is this? I wish you could taste through a video because this cocktail is, if I do say so myself. There we go. Crack the first cube. We're gonna crack the second cube too. I didn't get a good enough crack on that one. There we go. That's what I want. I want all those little shards. Give it a stir. And I did not add any dilution into the clarification mix, so you are going to have to stir to dilute. So it's nice, when you're doing the cocktail at work, even though it's a 2-step pour, you still are, kind of giving the customer a show, which is really important in your bartending shifts. Or when you're entertaining people at home. It's important to make a little bit of show of your bartending. People love to see effort put into the things that they consume. And what's awesome about cocktails is that unlike a chef who does everything behind closed doors, cocktails are made right in front of you. So the more effort you look like you're putting in, the more they will appreciate the cocktail that you make.
Except when it's all clarified and all you do.
No, but it looks like I'm putting effort in anyway. That's the whole point of what I'm saying, buddy. Here we go. We got a margarita that's gonna look like a martini, and it's gonna taste like a margarita. And what's better than that? What's better than that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Chocolate?
No, chocolate's not better than that. There's nothing. The correct answer is that there is nothing better than that. Okay, so we take our Nick and Nora here. And you can garnish with a lime wheel. You know what I'm gonna do for the garnish for this cocktail. Although you could do, you know what'd be nice is a freeze-dried lime. Should we do a freeze-dried lime wheel? I'm gonna get a little fresh lime oil on top to up the lime flavor. Oh, it smells so good with the lime oil on top. Oh yeah, okay, fine. So here we go, our freeze-dried lime wheels. We make these and sell these in the store, and you can get them in the store. There's actually a link in the feed, right? So there's a link in the feed. And we vacuum seal these as well. So you have to open them in kind of an interesting way, but look at this. You got that fresh lime scent on it, and then we can just balance it right there. But let's taste it first, and then cheers. So good, but what's so nice about it is that you get the full character of the tequila. You get all of those roasted agave notes. You get the lime that plays so well into the little bit of salinity that you have inside this Blanco. You get those agave notes. There's like this thing that happens with the agave when it gets caramelized. And last time I was at a tequila distillery, you can actually eat it. And you can get that character, that roasted agave character in this tequila. You get the lime oil on top that's really pumping up the lime. But the other thing that's nice is that it is balanced in the sweetness because we have a cinnamon syrup in here as well. And so you get those kind of spiced cinnamon notes. And what you have is something that is lightly sweet, it's lightly acidic, it's full character agave, and it tastes like a margarita, but it also hits you like a martini. So there it is, the postmodern margarita. This next cocktail is super easy. Again, it's just a couple of pours. This time we're going equal parts, like a spiced margarita cordial. I guess it's kind of more a cordial than a syrup. So it's 1.5 ounces, like that, into our glass. And then we're gonna do, again, with our volans, we're gonna do another 1.5 ounces, like so. Oh crap. I thought I had squirt in here. Are we out? No! Are we out of squirt? I thought we had a whole bunch. Okay, this is a Paloma variation, so if you want to do this really traditionally, you'll be using squirt or even Jarritos, but I have this pink grapefruit on hand, so that is what we are going to be using today. So what we're going to do here is just add in some ice, offset our volume. Usually I would put the soda in first, but this will actually mix because the densities are not 100% different. One will not layer on top of the other this time, so I'm just going to add this in like so. I like to pour off the ice anyway, but go. And that is literally it. If you want, you can put a little grapefruit here for garnish, but you don't need to. This is called the Cantina Highball, and it's just nice, very simple Paloma in a clarified, very clear format. Oh my God, it tastes so good too. So there it is, the Cantina Highball. To make the syrup, we're gonna just use this guy to mix everything. 1 cup of lime juice. We're gonna do 1/2 cup of our cinnamon syrup. And 1/2 cup of Cointreau, or any triple sec style liqueur. Or if you wanted to do Curacao, you could do Curacao if you want to give it a little deeper flavor. The Curacao actually might stand up to the clarification a little bit better, so. Just like that, very easy, simple, okay? Now, I'm gonna grab a spoon and give it the old mixy-poo. For clarification, we need to use milk. I like to use whole milk because it is just the best way to clarify. If you are vegan, you can use coconut cream. Now, but here's the thing. You can also use coconut milk, but clarifying with coconut milk is a real pain in the ass that requires a lot of filtration to do it. So using coconut cream is a better way to do that. Now, what's the difference between coconut milk and coconut cream? Coconut milk is a 2-to-1 ratio of coconut to water. Coconut cream is a 4-to-1 ratio of coconut to water. The more coconut you have, the easier it's going to be to clarify. So use coconut cream when you clarify, not coconut milk. The other thing that you want to know is that you need to use at least 1/4 of the total volume of whatever you're clarifying in milk. Okay, so this thing is 2 cups. Okay, we did 1 cup, 1/2 cup, 1/2 cup. There's 2 cups. So we need at least 1/2 cup of milk to clarify. I like to actually go a little bit more than that. Oh, and the other thing that you want to know is that A lot of people say that you need to heat the milk before you clarify, and you do not need to heat the milk. But what I like to do is leave the milk out and bring it to room temperature, because cold milk will inhibit the curdling process. So just keep that in mind. We're gonna do, I think I'll just do 3/4 of a cup of milk, okay? And we'll just pour that in here like so. The other thing is that you'll see that I'm putting the milk in one, and I'm not just putting the milk straight in here. And the reason why is because if you want to do this properly, you want to pour the solution you're clarifying into the milk and not the other way around. If you pour the milk into the punch, it will curdle on contact, and you don't want it to curdle on contact. You want it to curdle over time so you can get bigger curds and a better filtration. If you do it the other way around, it will clarify, 100% will clarify, but it will be a more tedious process. So I'm just trying to save you guys the trouble, all right? So we're just gonna take this like this, and we're just going to pour it into the milk slowly, and you should see it sort of start to do its thing right away. But as you can see, it is I wanted to say homogeneous mixture. Does that mean that it's all combined?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right
I don't know if that's the right homogeneous?
Homogeneous.
Homogeneous. You're probably right. Yeah, homogeneous as opposed to homogeneous. I think you're 100% right. But you know me, I'm a disaster at basically pronouncing everything. Okay, here's the other thing. This will be able to be filtered within 30 minutes. I suggest that you leave it for at least 8 hours. I like to leave it overnight because you will just get a better separation and a better clarification. All right, so let's just gonna put this aside, and we're gonna come back in 24 hours and we're gonna filter. 24 hours later, here we go. Now we have our stuff that we'd like to clarify. Now here's the deal. When you begin to clarify, I feel like I've given this lesson so many times on various episodes, but you guys will be proud of me because I pre-wet the filter this time, which I never do, and everyone always busts me on it. Just kind of lazy that way, but today we actually did it. First of all, you're gonna see it start to run cloudy to begin with, and the reason why is because it's going to just start going straight through the filter. You need the curds to actually collect in the filter to create a raft of filtration. So when it starts to run cloudy, you just let it run cloudy until it begins to drip clear. And when you see that it begins to drip clear, then you're going to switch out the container and then pour the cloudy solution back into it, and then it will be clear. And it's going to take a long time to clarify this, just FYI. It's going to take a while. We're going to be dripping this for a few hours. So it's best if you just do it, fill it, put it to the side, leave it alone, don't rush the process, and you'll get a very good result. If you sit there and you start messing with it and whatever, you're gonna end up breaking the filter, and then you're gonna have to start all over again, and it's gonna be a disaster. So just put it aside and leave it alone. Forget that it even exists. Go do something, go to the movies, go take your kids somewhere if you have kids. And if you don't have kids, go hang out with your significant other if you have one. If not, go to the library. Just do anything other than mess with it. Just let it drip. If you find that it stops dripping, you can give it a little stir sometimes to break up those curds to get it to re-drip, or sometimes you'll have to change the filter depending. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, we're gonna just let it sit, do its thing. All right, now it's dripping slow, and we're just going to put it in here, marry that back in like so, and just let it drip. A few hours later, this is what you get. You got your clarified syrup. Now, here's the deal, guys. Clarified cocktails are shelf stable. Clarified syrup is not shelf stable because a lot of the reason why clarified cocktails are shelf stable is because it has a ton of alcohol, which is adding to the shelf life, making sure that no bacteria will form. Even though the syrup does have quite a bit of sugar in it and it will extend the shelf life a little bit, it is not 100% shelf stable. You do have to keep it in the fridge. It will last about 3 weeks to a month. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to be good forever. If you mix alcohol into it though, then you can render it shelf stable, I'm sure. So there it is, guys. This is the spiced margarita clarified cordial, I guess. Today's Educated Barfly video is sponsored by The Educated Barfly. I don't know if you guys know this, some of you do, some of you don't, but we've got lots of really good products in our store, and we are constantly adding to those products. One of our very new additions, freeze-dried garnishes. So whereas a dehydrated garnish gives you sort of like a more tea-like caramelized scent. The freeze-dried version of that is a little bit brighter, and then all the sugars, when you freeze dry it, come to the surface, and so you get a very bright, fresh orange flavor. These guys have been a real big hit since we put them in the store. We get lots of orders for them. We also have a little bit of glassware. We have our now kind of iconic Nick and Nora style glass that we did in the regular and honeycomb pattern. This is a 6-ounce glass, kind of Nick and Nora style. And we have a brand new, more coupe style glass. It's 7 ounces. We also have the honeycomb pattern in this as well. So if you're a fan of the channel and you want to help us out, this is a very good way to help the channel and then also get something out of it. A lot of this is the glassware that you see in our videos, and so you'll be able to recreate the same cocktails that we make in the studio at home with the best possible recipes, the best possible instructions, and now the best possible glassware and garnishes.
What is the difference between cordial and syrup?
Cordials usually have like a mixture. Well, cordials can kind of be anything, but usually syrups are like, they're not compound. Like, well, that's not true because there are compound syrups as well, but like,
syrups are like singular things
syrups are
usually?
like, cordials are usually have like a mixture of like sugar and fruit juice and then like, you know, like spice elements and citrus rind and stuff, you know, to make it as opposed to a syrup. But I think a cordial is technically a syrup.
Right. Yeah,
Like, I don't
it's just
think
a fancy syrup.
different. It's just a fancier syrup, yeah.